The iPhone 7. Released in 2016, the year Apple released AirPods and the year Apple ditched the headphone jack. Should you buy this phone in 2020? Yes and no. Here's why. This phone has huge bezels surrounding the 4.7-inch LCD screen. It's not the brightest or the sharpest, but it's visible outdoors. These huge bezels also house a 7-megapixel front-facing camera, a speaker, and a capacitive home button. It's not a physical button, but in my opinion, it's a little more satisfying to click this than a physical home button. There is no headphone jack on this phone, but it does have Bluetooth 4.2. This phone also has stereo speakers, which I think sound okay. On the back, there's a 12-megapixel camera with OIS that can record up to 30 frames per second in 4K and 120 frames per second in 1080p. I think the photos that come out of this camera look pretty good. However, you don't get night mode on this camera. The battery life on this phone was never great, and after 4 years, it's only gotten worse. If you're gonna buy this phone, make sure the battery life is at least 80%. So these were some of the things that I think you should know before you buy this phone. Now I'm gonna talk about the things that I really like about this phone. Starting off with the size and the design, I really like the way this matte black iPhone 7 looks, feels, and fits in my hands. Even if I put a case on it, it doesn't feel too big. Although I said the speakers sound okay, I still really like them because they are stereo speakers. The fact that this iPhone is supported with iOS 14 and it will probably get iOS 15, maybe even iOS 16. And finally, I like the price of this phone. At the time of recording this video, you can buy this phone for about 170 to 200 Canadian dollars. And in my opinion, this makes the phone really easy to recommend. I mentioned a bunch of features that this phone is lacking, but for this price, you really can't complain. I think this phone is better than many budget Android phones in this price range. So, I honestly think you should buy this phone in 2020. Maybe even in 2021, considering this phone will probably get iOS 15. Unless you need a really good camera in your phone or you're a gamer. I just don't think the A10 Fusion processor in this phone will be good enough for some graphic intensive games. Don't get me wrong, it will be fine for games like these. I've already made a speed test video, the iPhone 7 versus Samsung Galaxy S8, and the results were surprising. I think you should go check it out. I have a link in the description. So, if you're gonna buy this phone, you'll probably need a case for it. I'll have some good ones that I recommend linked in the description below. So that's it for me. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like it and subscribe. That's all. I'll see you in my next video.